We're live.
Woohoo! Welcome to Sober AF Entertainment.
Woo! Oh yeah, that's right. It's me. It's safe. It's safe. We are Sober AF Entertainment. We have and we bring safe spaces to fun places. Let me give it a little more.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Okay. I think welcome back, everybody. I'm Jenna, and I have Duke to my right or left.
Correct. What's up, y'all?
And then I've got Sammy.
Hey.
And we have someone new to
We have
the
our
podcast.
first guest.
Taylor. Give him a big round of applause.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, awesome. Well, let's get right into it for right now. I know last week or a couple weeks ago we talked about we're going to a music festival.
Texas Eclipse.
Yes, the Texas Eclipse.
Voice.
I just combined space, EDM, jam band, and Sober AF. What do you get?
And astronauts.
Oh yeah, I know, space.
Right.
And yoga and meditation.
And yoga and meditation. I think there's even some cultural stuff too, like some like cultural experiences with the Native Indians there, if we want to see some like Native Indian dances. But we're going there. This will come out after we have gone.
Right.
But we want to I'll put the lineup here.
It's so sick.
It's like it's longer than like an 8x11 letter document. Like it is. It's super long. It's a poster.
It would take us 7 minutes to name every band and DJ.
Oh, 100%. But I will put it up there, and you can see it. Each stage is called like Moon or lunar, solar, all that kind of stuff. And they have EDM and jam bands mixed in. But what we want to do is kind of highlight who we are excited to see. And I'm really excited. I had no idea that anyone was coming or like who anyone was. No idea. I mean, I've heard of some, like Zed's Dead's going to be there, Subtronics, but that's not my type of music. So
Those are big names.
They're
Big
huge names. Yeah. However, I did find someone that I am excited for. Their name is Bad Snacks.
Oh.
Bad snacks.
Like Doritos?
Yeah, like Doritos. And it's a woman artist who is combining like EDM and hip hop. And I was listening to them before I came here today while I was working on like homework and stuff. And they're very like they're someone you'd put on to study, and like you get in a groove, and like hell yeah, like it's just like you get shit done. And so I was listening to them, and then I looked them up, and they sometimes play the synthesized violin on top of like the beats that they make. Isn't that pretty cool? They're from Boston too. So, but I was looking them up. I'm super excited.
This is why you love festivals,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. I've never heard of Bad Snacks.
No.
I'm old. I mean, so that's a big part of it. It's probably a good sign. But I'm so excited to hear somebody new that you're excited about.
Yeah, and I think I talked about it on the other podcast that one of my favorite things to do is just go to like Discover Weekly on my Spotify and like listen to music I haven't heard before. And it's like, ooh, this is cool. And it kind of breaks me out of my little like cage of like, I only listen to my on repeat every day. Like that can get kind of boring. So, and the other thing too is music is so beautiful. To me, it's a huge part of my recovery. I feel a lot of spirituality when I listen to music. Doesn't mean I'm listening to like Christian rock. Just want to put that out there. I'm not listening to like God music.
There's nothing wrong with it. Right?
That's
We're
just
on
not
a
me.
spiritual quest.
However,
We're just not drawn to it right now.
Yeah. When I was in South Carolina at a school, I took a Beethoven/German history class, and I got to learn about all of this cool stuff about music. And
What'd you get in the class? Do you remember?
Yeah, I got an A.
Look at you.
Or no, a B. Because that was before recovery. Now that I'm in recovery,
right.
I can qualify for honors.
So I took a history of jazz class when I was at the University of Arizona.
Yeah.
And it was so hard, I dropped it.
Dude, it's so cool though.
So hard.
Yeah.
Like,
you know,
African American from New Orleans, alcoholic. Yeah, go ahead.
Right.
I took a music appreciation class at my community college. But it was very like basic.
See, like this is like my Beethoven class. Like, you think Beethoven? Like, no, it's boring. No, classical music goes so fucking hard.
Fascinating.
Like, dude, I had the head of the piano department, because it was also a big music school. Head of the piano department be like, oh yeah, piano sonata 18 in E minor. And just like no music in front of him, just lays down a beat. And lays down the sonata. It was incredible. And then I had the German history teacher come in and goes, you guys ever heard of New Order? Blue Monday? He goes, yeah,
Oh, yeah.
German history, right here. Let's listen to it. And so we listened to like Blue Monday, and we went over like the harmonies and like all that kind of stuff. And for me, what I learned in that class was if you imagine a crown and the arts, like dance and like art, as in like painting and all that, they're all jewels on this crown, but the crown jewel is music, because it makes us feel things that we can't put into words through chords and stuff. And so I'm super excited to when I listen to music, for me, that's something I feel is like, I didn't even know I feel this way, but like, I guess I do. I relate. And it's all through like chords and notes. And I love music theory. So big music nerd. I can't wait to hear all those people. But who are you excited for, Duke?
We've come full circle to Bad Snacks now.
Bad
Somehow
Snacks.
we've gone Beethoven all the way to Bad Snacks.
Oh,
So,
yeah. I'll relate anything
it's
to
impressive.
anything. Thank
And
you.
Taylor will be giving us some of his music. And now we're just going to say, hey, can you do some smash up with some Beethoven and maybe some Bach and see
Beethoven
what you
trap?
can do.
Remix the Beethoven Bad Snacks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. See?
Exactly.
The layers.
The layers.
It'd be so sick. I'm telling you. Did you know Beethoven was blind and deaf?
I did know that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What?
he was
Yeah.
blind and deaf and still
Yeah.
writing symphonies.
Yeah.
And the way he would do it is through vibration.
None of this makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. And I just press a button.
Yeah.
Right? That's all I do. I just,
Right.
here we go.
Yeah. And his teacher was Mozart. Sorry. I'm getting into the history
it.
now. I'm,
Oh.
I'm
It's
geeking
fascinating,
out.
It's fascinating.
Hey, we just
Nerd
lost half the people. So I am excited to see Joe Russo's Almost Dead, J-Rad. So
J-Rad.
J-Rad is right down my alley. So it's a super talented, sped up band that plays Grateful Dead songs. So I really don't want to say it's a Grateful Dead cover band, because they're not, but they kind of are. But they are so freaking talented, and they just take it a new energy to it. So as a guy who loves Beethoven, and I call Beethoven the Grateful Dead because I think they'll be played 500 years from now. But we'll see. So I'm super pumped to catch that, but also run around and just hear a bunch of different amazing artists. And yeah, I'm going to be the old man at the festival with Zed's Dead. And,
Love it.
I like Zed Dead, right?
Love it,
Zed's
yeah.
Dead, is not as hard for me as Subtronics. Subtronics goes pretty hard. So,
Yeah.
but we've enjoyed Subtronics. Sammy and I actually did a Subtronics festival up in Wyoming a couple of years ago. And we
Nice.
had
In the cold.
cowboys
in the
Freezing cold
wind.
Wyoming.
running
Yeah.
around shirtless in their boots, and it was 43 degrees. So
Did you run around shirtless in your boots?
I did not. I was the old man at the festival handing out jackets and mittens.
All right, that's
and
good.
hats.
Can you imagine if we did see like Duke running around?
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Yeah, so,
Oh, there goes Duke again. Yeah.
exactly. Burned in your
cigar,
retinas.
cigar in mouth.
Oh yeah.
Just like chilling.
What was
For
cool
sure.
though is that when I was helping you out with the tent is we got to go in the VIP section. Like we could just go up to the side and we were right next to the speaker for Subtronics,
Right.
which was super cool. I'm really excited to see Tipper. I'm not like a heavy Subtronics, like hard, loud music person, but I do like the cool, like electronic, slower version of that type of music, and I've enjoyed Tipper.
Yeah, I'm gonna play you Bad Snacks. I think you'd like Bad Snacks.
What I like, I'm really excited to meet like some jam bands too. I'm excited to just explore because this thing is huge.
It's so big.
like
Did
massive.
I mention it's 8 days?
Yeah.
Holy You're there for 8 days.
It is.
But
You're
there's a
there.
swimming pool and a
Yes.
spa.
And
I'm
a
excited
lake.
to swim. Yep, a lake.
And
Yep.
a river.
Yeah.
And
I do highlight in our podcast that there I put the map and then I zoom in when you talk about swimming on the lake and the river.
Awesome.
That's right there. So
That's where we're gonna shower.
the people who have watched should know. But I'll put the map up again just to be like, no, you guys don't understand. This thing is huge.
I'm excited to also see all the art, like all the big sculptures that are gonna be
Yeah.
there, and all the people. Because I think there's people like bringing jewelry, which will be fun to look at. And I'm excited. I'm just an explorer, so I like to just wander.
I know. So the thing you should look out for, guys, is if you haven't and you guys are like, oh my God, you went to the festival and like I missed it. We're going to make sure we post like vlogs. And if you go to our TikTok and like all that kind of stuff, you will be able to follow along even after the event is passed. So you can see what Sober AF does. Without having to be like, oh my God, they just posted. Like, it'll be there for you guys to check out. You'll probably see me, Sammy, running around checking out the festival grounds. And then I'm trying to get Duke to do a vlog.
Yes.
So
Get ready with Duke.
It's a get ready with me with
Fun
Duke.
with Duke. Fun times.
And so just check that stuff out. You can follow us all. Our handle for everything is at Sober AFE, or Sober AFE. Just clarify. And I'll put that handle up there. And then if you look in the link in the descriptions, you can find all of our handles.
So at this festival, they're allowing us to bring Narcan. We're going to bring fentanyl test strips. We are going to have lots of stickers. We're going to bring earplugs. But we're also going to host, a check-in meeting. We're also going to host a morning meditation. We're going to have silent disco at night. So fired up that we're bringing the headsets. And
Oh, we are for
sure.
sure?
We are. Oh, yeah, put those headsets on.
Yeah.
Woo, 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 woo.
Silent disco.
And on that note,
Yeah.
we have brought one of our DJs who has played plenty of our silent discos all over Colorado.
Yeah.
From festivals to Fiddler's Green to CU and also up at Colorado State University.
Yeah.
So my dear
All
friend
around.
Taylor. So
Mr. Duke.
Taylor
God.
is the OG. So we were blessed to have Taylor be part of our team. He has worked the recovery tents, and one of the many things he's done is put up with our shenanigans and has been a DJ for us, along with some other DJs, to have silent disco at different events, including football games, music festivals, and single. Actually, not concerts, but more festivals.
More festivals.
Right, kind of one-day festivals. We put them to the test, and one of them was a country festival. So we're like, hey, dude, see what you can do on this end.
Yeah. Which turns out what the one running it wanted my playlist.
Yeah,
right?
it's
And
a
she
good sign.
Yeah, she still listens to this day.
Right.
So
Wow, that's
you know,
You guys are twinsies today.
we are
Oh,
twinsies
yeah.
today.
We are rocking the DJ jerseys.
You guys
The
can turn into
Sober
that
AF
Spider-Man
DJ.
meme.
Yeah. Yeah.
That one, record scratch.
Right.
What?
Good. Yeah, it's been awesome. I mean, the work that you're doing is just incredible, and being able to be a part of it is just phenomenal. I mean, I'm blessed to be a part of this, you know. And how I got involved with Duke is kind of a unique story, and it goes back to when I was young, right? When I was about 8 years old, my best friend, his brother and cousin were about 8 years older than us, and they were into the, 90s rave scene, which back then was the old school, records, and they would come home every night and give us the CDs and flyers and glow sticks, and I fell in love with techno and trance, and back then it wasn't really EDM, right? It was just rave music. And so after that experience, I wanted to be a DJ. And his cousin was a DJ. And so we would go to his house. He was about 15. And that's where I learned to DJ when I was like 8 years old, right?
Think of
That's
that.
pretty
Yeah,
sweet.
That's
isn't that
awesome.
crazy? Right, and that was back then when they had the old vinyl records. People were like, "What the heck are those now?" Right? But we kept our relationship, growing up, and I didn't know that he was a big name DJ throughout Colorado. I mean, we would still stay in touch here and there, but his name was Brian, and I grew up with him and his sister. And unfortunately, Brian passed away after being in sobriety for 12 years on an overdose. And his sister actually reached out to Duke saying, hey, I know this DJ. He's pretty badass. And sure enough, I get a phone call from Duke saying, hey, I heard you're a DJ and you're pretty badass. And the rest is history.
Exactly what she said.
That's literally exactly
Checks
what
out.
she said. So in a weird roundabout way, it started from 8 years old, and then, one life ends and, another relationship begins, and we do this, in honor of Brian's memory.
Amen.
Right?
Yep.
And all who have been, taken from us too soon, from overdose. And that's what we're just trying to fight, right?
Right.
Fight the battle. And so through the organization, Duke was able to get these headsets.
Correct.
And now we just throw the silent discos whenever we can and rock and roll and have some fun, you know?
It's a really cool way for us to make sober cool. So when we were at Imagine Music Festival 8 months ago, they let us host at the end of the night silent disco from midnight till 5 in the morning. And we, it started getting momentum. And by the end of the festival, I would just walk around the festival and you'd hear, people saying, "Hey man, you going to like that after party? Like the sober crazy guys are, going till 5 a.m."
Yep.
And so we're really excited we get to bring this again to the Texas Eclipse Festival. So we are honored. It really does make tailgating fun when you can do something super different like that. And especially festivals is, for us trying to, support a mission of showing people how to have fun, substance free. It's really an extra little hook to get, kids to come and, one thing to hang out for 20 minutes, something else to hang out for 3 or 4 hours.
Yeah. I mean, I think my question for you, Taylor, is what influences your style of DJing? Like, because we will put insert clip here of
Beethoven.
Of Beethoven.
Beethoven and Bad Snacks.
Beethoven Bad Snacks.
Right.
Of a little 15-second clip. I'll put in right here of your music and.
Perfect.
And
Perfect.
what is like your vibe?
So I'm pretty high energy.
Okay.
Right. And there was one DJ that I always kind of took as my idol, and his name was John Bishop. And he's from California, but he's a hard house DJ. And when I was growing up, I would watch videos, 8, 9, 10 years old, and he's just nonstop energy. Like those DJs you see that are just boom, boom, just all the time. And I tried to extend that into my DJing. And so when I would be playing shows, that always stuck in the back of my mind of, you're trying to do something for the crowd.
Yes.
Right? That's what it's for. And if you don't have that energy, the crowd's not going to have that energy. Right? And I've seen both, as I'm sure everyone has. You've seen the DJs or artists that are just sitting there and you're like, okay, this is,
Yeah, because I can sit here and just be like, meh.
Right.
Like pushing a button.
Right.
Or you can be like bopping your head and then like, ooh, hit it.
Right.
And
it just shows that you enjoy it.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I'm so passionate about it. And, I started my first show when I was 18 years old.
That's pretty sweet.
Down at a rave. And then from there, it progressed into, all the clubs in Colorado. I played at Red Rocks.
That
was pretty wild.
sweet.
That was
Red
a goal.
Rocks.
Yeah.
Wow.
Played at Red
Wow.
Rocks. But
I've gone to Red Rocks.
Yeah.
Not the same.
No, not the same.
Not the same.
But it was a life goal that I had, right? And just continuing that energy. And that's what caused a lot of, my downfall with substances, though. To be honest. I mean, it was that party rock style life. And that's the dream of everyone, right? Until you realize that slowly but surely, it's not getting good.
It turns on you.
It turns on you. Man, it's that little thing on the side of the shoulder, like, it's okay, just keep doing it. It's fun, right?
Right.
And then it's not fun anymore.
And it's not fun anymore. And then the other side saying, like, oh, dude, you might have a problem. So I retired for a little bit and then got sober. And about 2 weeks before COVID hit, I got my first show back at the church nightclub. Headlined the church nightclub.
Nice.
And then COVID hit.
Right.
And
the church is huge.
The church was a big one.
Yeah, good for you.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. And then, so now I look at it when people say, do you still DJ? I DJ now in a different aspect, which coming from that to this, and there's different aspects about it, but I love this so much more.
How was it
It's
for
so much
you?
fun.
Yeah, it sounds fun. How
Yeah.
was it for you when you got sober and you wanted to continue DJing? Was that difficult at all?
It was hella weird.
Yeah.
It was hella weird because it's still such a passion of mine. I love the music. I didn't do it for the drugs or the alcohol. It just became a part of it. But I had to take a step back.
Yeah.
Right. I really did for my own personal. And that's what I learned in the early recovery with the support. And thankfully I had that. And then when I started feeling confident enough to go into those settings again, then I was like, that's what it brought me back to why I did it in the first place. Right. Because I lost that for a while. it was all about the partying and the drinking and that lifestyle, and then getting back into it in more of a, this is why I do it aspect was
Right.
was
That's
awesome.
Very humble.
Though
You know,
you have to humble yourself
Yeah.
in recovery.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
First step,
especially
right?
that early
Yeah.
stages, and so we've been at festivals, we've been at Global Dance, and we've been at Decadence, and people DJs come up to Taylor like, hey, what's going on? And it's really cool just to kind of see the community really appreciate who he is, but also what he's doing right now, and way to help so many other people in a different way.
Yep.
Is really hard. So I'm really proud of you for
Thank
watching all these guys come up, and they understand they've lost people in recovery, and who get sober and then go back out, and
Yeah.
it's not like it's an uncommon thing. It happens a lot,
Right.
unfortunately, and but just having all these guys come up and just
Yeah.
they're sober and then they're sober,
Right.
right,
Right.
and really doing the deal. So
Yeah.
it's been really cool to kind of see that from the outside.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
You've been a huge part of it.
Yeah, and I think you are a huge part of Sober AF's mission. Like I feel like our mission is we're trying to change societal norms that say, hey, you have to partake in using substances to have fun.
Yep.
And the thing is you don't.
You don't?
And when I was using, I thought I was more creative when I used it because I'm a musician too, and I
Yeah.
was like, that's the only time I can come up with chords and like riffs and like
Right.
all that. And then, and then I remember when I picked up my guitar, I brought my guitar to treatment,
Yeah.
and I was like, why does it flow easier when I do it? And I've noted, like for me, noticing like those myths, I'm gonna call them myths,
Yeah.
of like you have like using drugs makes you more creative, or you're not gonna have fun because like being sober it sucks, and being in reality sucks. In fact, there's a Instagram account who collabed with a artist called Boss Dog, and they have two shirts. I have a shirt that says "Get in, loser. We're falling in love with life and recovering again," and it's really cute. The other one is "Reality is the biggest trip of all." Like you can't write
sure.
this shit.
No.
Like no. And so what's super cool is having people like you a part of Sober AF and showing like, especially having like your own following, and having like a name of playing at Red Rocks, playing at all these huge spaces, and then you being like, hey guys, I can still do that, but I'm having even more fun sober, or
Yeah.
like it's easier sober.
Yeah.
And I found it like a new love of music when I got sober.
100%.
Yeah, I don't know if you relate to that, but
Oh, 100%. I mean, when you get sober, the first thing we've all experienced is how am I going to have fun? How am I going to bring back that passion? I experienced that for a long time. And then just knowing, why you're doing it. I don't go to as many shows anymore or do that anymore, but I still love it. It's part of my core and who I am, but that's the biggest thing that I've tried to do is, even just instill some hope. I do that in my everyday life of you can do this, right? And it's really cool when you actually do it. So many people want to do it, but they don't know how.
Yep.
And everyone has a different path, right? But for me, I'll still go to those shows, and I can't tell you how many people that first show back at the church who knew I was sober saying, hey, man, how do you do this? Exactly what you said. Like, how do you come to these things sober? And the only thing I said is, I want to.
Right.
Literally, I
I
want
think
to.
it's a new form of gratitude too. I know
Yeah.
for me, like sports were really big for me.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've just gotten back into running, and I'm running like a bunch of 5Ks right now. And it's
Nice.
like the reason behind it is like I feel so grateful to wake up, go outside, and run.
Yeah.
And it's like I'm not like like it's a different perspective. I think once
Yeah.
you get sober, and you like meet people and you have connection with people, you're like, wow, this is like actually really meaningful and purposeful. Whereas before, it's just where the addiction or
Yeah.
the drinking and the partying takes you out, and that's all your focus.
I think like I had a I had a group project recently, and we decided that we needed to meet one more time before we turned in our project and it happened to fall on St. Patrick's Day,
Uh-oh.
which was a Sunday.
Uh-oh.
And as you can guess, not every one of my group members made it. Why was that? They were hungover.
Right.
And because it's St. Patty's Day weekend, like they were at the Hill on CU, like they were going crazy. And there was a few that showed up. They were like, "Yeah, I'm hungover." I said, "But hey, I feel like it is a not a milestone, a keystone or a cornerstone event for you to be violently hungover and having to show up somewhere, because I did it." And I was like, and it taught me, and I sat there in such gratitude because I was like, holy shit, dude.
Right.
That used to be me, and like I came here, I knew what I wanted to get done, and like I got it done, and I didn't feel like shit. And I wake up and I'm like, I don't feel like shit, which is amazing, because I used to wake up every day, head in the toilet, like just gone. And like now is like, oh, I actually am having so much fun, and it's been a blessing, and I'm very grateful. But what makes me even more grateful is that I'm a part of something here with Sober AF, trying to show young people, trying to show even old people. I mean, old people can have fun, right, Duke?
Preach.
Yeah.
You can
This
be
guy has
old
the
AF
most fun.
and be sober. AF.
Yeah, exactly. And so, but just show that stigma and that myth that you have to use to have fun, and one of the other things too is like that you have to have like something, like for me when I go to parties, I have to have like a drink in my hand.
Sure.
Just because like I don't want to go down the path of, oh, you're not drinking.
Right.
Oh, you're not like, and I'm like, don't question it. I actually had I brought a Liquid Death to my class. And sometimes I bring them to parties because they look like a tall boy.
But they're actually water. In case you
Right.
don't
Yeah,
know
it
what
is water. It is water. It's water, sparkling water, tea.
With a cool name.
Yeah, with a really cool
Yeah.
name, because
Yeah.
And
it's
good marketing.
Yeah.
yeah, murder your thirst
Right.
is the tagline. But I took it to class. I crack it open. We're waiting for class to start. Yeah. And it looks, and I put it on my little desk.
Yeah.
And my professor comes up to me and he talks to me sometimes. It's a big lecture too.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Are you drinking a Modelo in class?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "Sir, no, actually I'm sober and this is Liquid Death." And he was
water.
like, "Oh my gosh." And I was like, it's okay, but you just proved my point. Like,
Right.
if I was at a party, like people would have been like, "Oh, she's drinking, no need to like talk, like
Right.
worry about like pushing a drink on her."
Right.
Like, so that's something that I've experienced as like a tip, is just like having a drink like Liquid Death in your hand, or like Celsius, Red Bull, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like those are, I've gotten really into Roy Rogers
Yeah.
when I go out to like bars. You know what a Roy Rogers is?
Oh, I sure do.
Oh yeah, well it's Coke with grenadine in it. It's the brother to Shirley Temples. So
Good to know. It sounds cool.
yeah.
I'll take a Roy.
Give me a Roy.
Yeah,
Roy
but like
Rogers.
yeah.
those
Oh, yeah.
things, like those things make it easier, and my friends have noticed a big difference, and
Yeah.
like I show up for my friends,
Yeah.
and that's been amazing. So,
So many things change.
oh my god, yeah,
Yeah. You know, and the energy part, I take this man's energy, right? And I still question it to this day. I'm like, how does this man go till 3, 4, 5 in the morning, and I'm about to throw in the towel at midnight?
yeah.
You know?
God.
It's the cigars.
right?
Yeah. It is God. And like, I tell people, they're like, "You really like EDM?" I'm like, "You don't choose music, right? You just like what you like."
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Your body likes it. You're like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, I like it."
Yeah.
So yeah.
Feeling it in your system.
We did lose a lot of volunteers at Imagine around 3 a.m. or 2 a.m.
You're right.
And
Right.
I was like, I don't know if I can do this, 3 nights in a row. But
Right.
did it. It was great.
You did it.
But I do remember like telling the DJs, like, "Let's keep going." I'm like, I don't want to hear the birds.
Yeah.
Like, I got one rule. Don't want to hear the birds chirping. Like,
Yep.
let's shut
Yeah.
this down.
You
I
see
wanna
that
be in
sunrise,
bed
you're
by
just
5
like,
p.m.
oh.
No, I don't want to hate myself.
Yeah.
That's
I think it's cool because I think you really do it for like people who are new, or just to be there for someone, and that's like really important in recovery, is being of service, and I aspire to be like that.
Right
For
on.
real, yeah.
It's a huge
Woo.
thing. I mean, I always look back at where I was at. You know, it'll be 6 years in July for me. And,
Congratulations.
In a row.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Which is crazy to think about, right? I mean, it's just now it's part of living. You know, you get to the point where it's just what I do now.
Right.
I don't have to battle it for me personally. It's just I love it. But thinking back where I was at that 6 years ago, as you said, like how did you get back into it? It would have been a lot easier transition to go into it with like a sober AF or a space where I'd be like, man, all right, there are people who are dealing with some of the certain things I'm dealing with. Right. But that wasn't there. So I didn't go. That's the thing too. And just having that transition, which is why it's so cool. Man, it really is. You know, you can have fun sober.
Yeah.
And a lot of fun. And
Shocker.
we do.
No.
And you remember it. That's the most important part. It's like,
Oh,
I
yeah.
did I did that last night, and then years later you can be like, remember when we did that one thing, like Subtronics,
Right.
Yeah.
or DJ a festival or whatever.
No more heads in the toilet.
Yeah, no more
Right?
hands on my toilet.
Positive.
Or like those
Yeah.
awkward, like, do you remember what you did last night?
Right.
Oh yeah.
And like you being like, no, like, and then they tell you the most outrageous story. For me, it was also waking up with like bruises all over me from like just stumbling
I had a lot of
places.
brownouts. I remember just bits and parts of the night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. I remember falling.
Yep.
Like, and then I think I took out somebody's potted plant at the bottom of the stairs.
Right.
You know, at your mom's house. I think it was at your mom's house.
Right.
Like, oh yeah.
Yes. I think that
Right.
was it.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy. Or like looking at your phone and being like, oh my god, who did I text
Yep.
last night?
Oh, man.
So I'm so happy that like I don't have to do that anymore. And I'm super grateful that we've created like this community that goes to events like this, because I was introduced to Sober AF when I was in treatment. I didn't get to go because of the Marshall fire. We were supposed to go to a Nuggets game.
Yeah.
But what's really cool is seeing like treatment centers like the Rose House, going to like basketball games with Sober AF and showing them, hey, you can do fun stuff and meet cool people like while you're in treatment. And that's like, if you're looking for long-term sobriety, in my opinion, it starts with a community. It starts with like who's gonna pick up the phone at 3 a.m. And what happens is like you start to build a community outside your rehab. And that's the biggest thing because you set yourself up for success. Because you get out and you're like, I don't know anyone, versus like you get out and you're like, oh, dude, I'm going to go hang out with Duke today. Like,
Know what I'm doing.
yeah, exactly. So I think the biggest thing is this offers a safe community for people who want long-term sobriety, just want to try it for the night. Because that's the other thing where big harm reduction place where it's like, hey, maybe you just want to like try sobriety tonight. Like maybe you just want to be in a safe space that can save you.
Yeah.
Like that's a big one too, is that we while we're at these festivals and at these events, we are prepared for people who are not prepared.
100%.
Like and that's something that I think is so grateful. And I like, or before we started the podcast, we're like, should we put Narcan on the table? And then these three all went, I have some in my car.
Right.
Like,
Yeah, there's it right there. Yeah.
and it's like,
Yeah.
but these are the people you surround yourself with.
Right.
It's like maybe we do change one life today.
Right.
Yeah, I was with my dad before this, and I was filling up my car with gas, and we were outside of Target, and we pull up, and there's this guy like shooting up, and I'm sitting there like, okay, I have Narcan in my car.
Yep.
Like if he falls to the ground, like I know I can go after, like run, and so that was like something I've experienced for the first time. And I was with my dad, and he's like, "What is he doing?" And I'm like, "Don't worry about it."
Yeah.
Things like that.
But exactly, like you can save a life, and specifically to like, and they may go back to using, or it may be the wake up call that they need.
That's it.
So like you just never know. But don't you want to give them the choice?
Exactly.
Plant the seed.
Exactly. Plant the seed.
Plant the
Woo.
seed. That's
Yeah,
it.
baby.
That's it.
Yeah.
Just drop it
Right.
right on in there.
Yeah.
We're bringing it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
especially for I think younger people. For me, I needed a lot of like seed droppings, I guess,
Yeah.
because I
Oh,
needed a
100%.
ton of reminders. I think when I first started at 18, it was like, fuck this. I'm not even 21, can't even drink yet. Like I'm just getting my life started, and it was like I knew I was an addict, but I just wasn't ready to fully commit yet. And so once it was like I hit the bottom of the bottom, it was like, okay, I'm throwing the towel in.
Yeah.
And it's like, I know I have Sober AF. I know I have a community. I know I have people to go to. And so I could just like show up and be like, all right, I'm ready to take all the suggestions.
And did it make it any easier knowing that there was a community there for you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like I am a huge fan of the Nuggets, and so
Yeah.
whenever Duke hosts a
World
Nuggets game,
champion. You're world champion. Denver Nuggets.
I'm always there.
Yep.
Or the Avs game, I went one New Year's and they lit off fireworks in the stadium and it was so cool.
Right.
And I just go with like a bunch of friends, and it's just like a night out. We're all going out, and I know I'm like with people who are not drinking. Even if like somebody 2 rows in front of me is like wasted and causing a scene, it's like, oh, okay. I'm not judgmentally, but I'm just like, okay, I'm just grateful I'm not there right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's something we want to like also say is like we aren't going to judge you if you are drinking.
Right.
We are not going to be like, oh, we are better than you because we are sober.
Right.
That's not us.
We have a different tone.
Yeah, we have
Right.
a much different tone, and it's
Like
we're
we've been there. We know what you're going through.
yeah, we've walked a mile in your shoes before, buddy. But we're like your sober uncle, right?
There we go.
Yeah.
Good way to put it.
Yeah.
We're your
My
sober uncle.
All right.
We're like the crazy guy pulls up, and you're like, oh yeah, dude, it's crazy sober
Right.
uncle's here.
Still got it.
Yeah, like that's how I would put it. Is we're not gonna put any shame on you if you are drinking. We're not gonna or using. But if you want to take a break or just party with some real people and have some real fun times, you can come see us at our sober support tent or find us at festivals. Follow us on TikTok, whatever. But we can be your sober buddy.
Right. You're not the weirdo.
Yep.
You're not the weirdo if you're taking the night off.
Nope, you're not a weirdo. You're not a weirdo.
You're our kind of weirdo.
Yeah.
And you start building relationships.
Yep.
That's what I love too. Like Duke's one of my best friends now.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I genuinely say that.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Like it's awesome to build that. And who would have thought that
Mm.
6 years ago, right?
Yeah.
No, I don't want to get sober. No, that's stupid,
Yep.
right? No.
No, if
and
you-
now I'm sober and I have a great friend out of
Exactly.
it.
If you told me Duke invited me to go to this festival
Oh.
sober,
Right.
like
For 8 days.
That
For
sounds
8 days.
insane,
Days.
right?
dude,
In Burnett, Texas.
Yeah.
In Burnett,
It's
Texas.
not even Burnett. It's Burnett.
I think it's Burnett.
Burnett or
You were
Burnett?
calling it Burnett, like Brene Brown.
I know.
Is it going to be really hot there?
There's like Texas
No.
twang.
They're twang.
There's a Texas twang to Burnett. Burnett. Anyways,
Burnett.
we will know when we come back.
Yeah.
But
Sure.
it's gonna be like 75.
Awesome.
It's gonna be beautiful.
Probably
Yeah,
warmer than
this
Colorado.
week is 75.
Yeah.
I checked. Next week when we're there, it's more like 87.
Oh, okay.
Oh, so
Yeah.
it's gonna be warm.
It's going to be warm.
Okay.
Yeah.
It will not be cold. We don't expect snow.
No.
I hope you come back with a Texas accent.
I will come back
That
covered
is- I don't
in
know.
red clay. I think.
I've talked
clay.
about.
Howdy, y'all.
All three of you. Just,
Yeah.
yeah.
All y'all.
Next podcast. Hey, y'all.
Yeah, dude. I was in South Carolina for a year playing collegiate softball.
Nice.
I came back with a little bit of twang.
Did you?
And we I
love
talked
it.
about it on another podcast,
it.
but like that's how you knew I was drunk is
Yeah.
when the twang started coming
Sure,
out.
right.
Yep.
I feel like
That
I'm
alter ego twang. Yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
I feel
yeah.
like I'm gonna go to Texas and I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna hear it and it's just gonna wake up inside of me and I'm gonna start talking like I did in South Carolina.
Hush, y'all.
I'm really excited about that.
Yes.
I'm really excited about
Yeah.
that. Yeah. I wish I was going, but unfortunately I cannot.
Not this
That's
one.
okay.
Not
but there's
this one.
more.
There's a lot more.
There's
But-
more
We have a lot
coming.
of fun things planned.
Yeah.
We
We'll
do.
be, we'll be playing your music at the Silent Disco, correct?
Awesome.
How cool is that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You will be there.
That
And
I
it'll
will be
be-
there.
Yes.
It'll be
your
my
music will be there.
first silent disco.
Yeah.
Yeah,
My very
mine too.
first.
Really?
So I'm so excited.
And you have to video and FaceTime me.
Yes.
And,
Yes.
oh
it'll
yeah,
be
we'll
lot
do
of
a
fun.
live stream maybe too.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
We'll tag
That'd be
you.
cool.
So, but yeah, so we're super excited. Taylor, thank you so much for coming
Oh,
onto the
absolutely.
podcast.
Thank you. This is cool.
And thank you for being our DJ.
Hey,
Yes.
it's
Yes.
fun.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to. We got to teach you how to be the pro now.
Yeah. I
Come up with a really cool DJ name.
I totally steal other people's stuff, so I am
you.
ripping stuff off left and right.
It takes a village.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? It takes a village to make this fun. And
LL Cool Duke?
LL
Oh,
Cool
Cool Duke.
Duke.
Probably not.
I
like
call
it.
him Otto from The Simpsons.
That'd be it, huh?
Right.
Yeah.
Otto, yeah.
Otto Duke.
Yeah.
Otto Man.
Otto
Otto-
Duke. I kinda
Otto
like
Duke.
Otto Duke.
I like it.
Could
We'll
mean a lot
figure
of
it out.
things.
Yeah.
Who
Could
knows?
be
Maybe.
automatic.
Yeah.
Ooh, but you spell it OTTO, and there you go.
Yeah.
Automatic.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah. I think, but we'll definitely. I'm sure we'll find Duke's alter ego at the festival because we
Yes.
have
We'll get it on
8
camera.
days. We have 8 days to figure
8
that out.
days.
8
8 days, 8 nights.
Yes.
This is
No,
the biggest
7
festival.
nights.
right?
7 nights, math. The
7
math
nights.
is
7
mathing.
nights.
Which is really good. Trust
Yeah.
me.
I set up the tent. It's ready. Cool. Well, thanks so much again, Taylor.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
Just a reminder, if you want to check us out at any of our events, please go to our website, which is soberafe.com. And if you want Sober AF in your town or in your area or your event, please contact Duke at soberafe.com. And I will put those up on the screen for you. And reminder, please check out our handles, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, at Sober AFE. Simple as that. If you remember Sober AFE, you're on the right track. You will find us.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So check us out. I'll put links in the descriptions for you guys to see that stuff. But let's give a round of applause for Taylor one more time.
Thank you for having me. You guys all rock.
Yes.
You guys all rock.
Sweet. Well, we love you guys. Shout out. Love
Peace.
you guys.
Love.
And we'll catch you on the next one.
Peace.
Later.
Bye-bye.